Hello friends, 594 days of war. A brief on Palestinian-Israeli war. Palestinians are continuing bombing Tel Aviv. In the meantime, IDF has claimed that it controls all the lost territories in Gaza Strip. Hezbollah special forces are actively supporting Palestinians. In northern Israel, heavy clashes are on between Jewish units and Hezbollah's. Death toll has reached 900 for Israelis, including 85 soldiers, while Palestinians have lost 436 people, including more than 90 children. Israeli ground offensive in Gaza is inevitable, while massive shelling continues on Gaza indiscriminately, which is under blockade. Iran has warned US that if it intervenes in the war, Iran will not sit idle and it will attack US bases in the regions. Saudi Arabia has ended all negotiations on normalizations with Israel. The efforts by China, Russia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt to end the war hasn't succeeded so far. From the Ukrainian war zone in south, the Russian army carried out attacks towards Rabotino, while Ukrainians carried out similar attacks toward Verbov without any gains. But Ukrainians managed some marginal gains near Kopani, but nothing towards Novoprokhovka and Verbov direction. ISW says that the Russian army has intensified mine works in areas of Rabotino-Verbov. In Remivki salient, the Russian army attacked towards Novodonetsk, Priyutne, but without any changes. On the eastern side of Zaporizhia front, Ukrainians carried out attacks towards Priyutne, but without any gains, and also towards Nikolsky, which is close to Ugledar. On Kherson front, Ukrainians are continuously increasing their strikes in rear position of Russian army, which includes headquarter communication center supply routes. Ukrainian bridgeheads near Antonovsky and railway bridges on eastern bank of Dnieper River have seen increased activities. It is likely that sooner than later, a large-scale crossings by Ukrainian army at eastern bank of Dnieper River will take place. However, the war in Palestine may hinder this task, however they related sometimes later. In eastern Marinka front, Russian army carried out counterattacks on Novomikhailovka and occupied two southern heights. The fight in western Marinka is on. In Avdiivka, Russians carried out counterattacks south of Avdiivka, Krasnogorovka and Pervomaisky, no major changes. On Bakhmut front, ISW says that Russians carried out counterattacks all along Avdiivka Donetsk line including Bakhmut, but without any significant changes. In south of Bakhmut, Ukrainians launched 3 attacks towards Kurdyumovka and Vodyane, however without any gains. And similar attacks were carried out by Russian army towards Kislovka and Avdiivka, again no gains. In north on Kharkiv front, Russian army is continuing its operation all along the battle line. Towards Makeevka, it managed some gains towards Kislovka and thus controls the highway to Kupyansk. It also advanced towards eastern Makeevka, which is south of Svatovo, up to 1 kilometer, and only approximately half kilometer left for this particular establishment. ISW says that Russian army carried out offensive towards Kupyansk Svatovo criminal line. It also used aerial bombings in support of its ground forces and made gains towards west of Svatovo. It also reports that Russian army repelled Ukrainian offensive operations near Orlyanka, Novosilovsky, Makeevka, Dibrova, as well as towards Torsky Serebryansky forestry. Ukrainians carried out 2 counterattacks towards Liman directions, but without any changes or gains. Interdiction missions are continuing from both the sides. Ukrainians are continuously shelling the Russian territory, though there is an appreciable lesser intensity. The Russians continue deep and intermediary bombing, and they have hit even Chernigov, Odisha and other regions. It must be noted that uses of drones are becoming difficult, and thus also the artillery, due poor visibility and weather. Thailand has launched into orbit a second Earth observation satellite called Theos 2. And that is all from my side. Thank you.